Then after that, there is a cascade of changes that will happen on dental disease. The first, and again, I'm going to say them in a certain order, but sometimes they happen all together. They can happen out of order. But one of the first things is the mandibular teeth curves medially. So it's lateral convexity. And the maxillary teeth will curve laterally. So it's a medial convexity. And because of that curvature happening that is abnormal, that you're going to start having a reduction of the occlusal wear. So that's called malocclusion. It's not going to occlude as it should, but the teeth are going to continuously grow. And that's when problems happen. Is like you're growing wrong, but you're still growing and the forces are not acting as they should. So it's a recipe for disaster. And that's what happens. It ends up a disaster. And the rabbit then will start rejecting hay because it's not as comfortable to eat the hay. The rabbit's gonna start favoring soft items like the greens, the pellets. And I do know pellets look very hard, but when they have contact with the saliva, they dissolve. Like try it, like put some water on that. You're gonna see they really dissolve easily. So it's very easy for the rabbit to eat the pellets. Besides, they tend to taste a little bit better because in order to make a pellet, you need to put a little bit of grains, a little bit of carbohydrates there, so they will taste a little bit better. And so with that, eating less hay, that tends to trim the teeth better naturally, and favoring more soft items, we're going to worsen that malocclusion. And that's when the spurs start. And so those spurs are really going to hurt, right? They're going to cause discomfort. They're going to cause ulcerations. Sometimes they really damage. I've seen rabbits missing part of their tongues. And it's very sad. And as you can think, it's very painful. And the problem is not necessarily the owner will pick up those changes right away. Sometimes it takes a long time for the owner to notice that the pet's favoring soft items, or when they start actually having hypersalivation, it takes a while because they're constantly grooming themselves. Sometimes the owner can't see that hypersalivation. So at the same time, at the apex of the tooth or teeth, remember the apex is the same as saying roots. They don't have two roots. It's an open root, so apex. So at the same time, while all of that's happening right here, all the spurs and discomfort, at the apex, you start having deformities. And because, again, they are also, because everything's abnormal, they start growing upwards or downwards towards the mandible. So you can start having perforation of the cortical bone. And one can only imagine how painful that is.